I'm Kayla Buchanan and welcome to Around the Region. November is a time for all of us to come together as Canadians and honor the men and women who've served our country. This past week I got the chance to spend some time in Wainwright, and over the next half hour I'm going to be bringing you personal stories from soldiers who've served this country.
Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are dead short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields.
Soldiers today, UN peacekeepers, everything that Canada soldiers have done. We can't forget that. We never can.
Andre Cusson, I'm the Chief Warrant Officer. I'm at the base RSM here at CFB ASU Wainwright. I've been serving for the last 34 years. I've served in Valcartier, Quebec, Petawawa, Ontario, Kingston, Ontario, Ottawa, Chatham, New Brunswick, and Gagetown, New Brunswick, Suffield, Alberta, and now here in Wainwright, Alberta. And I also served 2 years in Germany.
My name is Master Corporal Wadden. I've been in the military for 12 years, spent 3 years as an infantry soldier, and I remustered to signals in 2003. Right now I'm an information systems technologist, so I'm a communications specialist for the military, specifically dealing with computer networks, but in the past I've also dealt with tactical radio networks, basically any communication system the Army uses to communicate in the battle space.
Captain Jeremie Dulong. I've been serving 9.5 years. Originally it was just the thrill of being in the military, and I wanted to go in the reserves, but also to university, and then I enrolled through RMC, so you get a little bit of both at the same time. Very little family history, a few uncles that were in the reserves, a few great uncles that went to World War II. It's not something that's very prevalent within the family, but it's always been there, right? So the idea was always thrown around, and this was a great opportunity to try it out.
Well, both my grandfathers and my father were both in the military, so it just seemed natural for me to roll into that job.
I had 2 cousins and some neighbors that had joined back in the late 70s. And they told me that it was challenging, interesting, and I said, why not? You're young, might as well do it. My mom was a little apprehensive. My dad was proud. My dad was serving the reserves back in his days. But they were quite happy that I had chosen to take up the challenge, and they were hoping probably to instill some discipline into me at such a young age.
My dad was very excited. My mom was very excited, a little scared because there was a war on at the time, but it just seemed natural and everything went the way it did.
They seen the free education, so they liked it, of course. But, there's always that hesitance, right? They always worry about it, and my mother, didn't like it when, her oldest son left from home. That wasn't near as bad as, leaving overseas, right? It's a whole different world then. But she always kept it to herself for the most part, and was always there, always supportive. It's very important that they're there when you come back. You both had different things that you seen while you were gone, right? You both seen it from 2 different angles. They always seen the worst that goes over the news, right? That's always what they see, and that's all they see, right? None of the good sides, none of the good stories ever really make it back, because it doesn't make good news from what I see. So they always had this bad impression. But from my point of view, whenever I was talking, like back home, whenever I called home, I always had the good stories to say, right? And it was always that was nice to, leave that message back home.
And when ATR returns, we'll find out what it was really like for these soldiers when they served overseas. Please stay with us.